Welcome back to the channel, all you beautiful people out there. And today we got Americans who think they are Italian, which I'm loving this screenshot, this clip right here, because it's Little Italy in Manhattan, New York City, New York. That's where I'm from, New York. So I've walked this area many times. It's right next to Chinatown. Chinatown's right next to the business district. It's all like clumped up in one area. So definitely brings me home just looking at Little Italy. I need to visit soon for sure. But with that being said, what's smoking all my dragons, divine, righteous, almighty, greats, overachieving, never slacking. We are flying over to Italy, or maybe to New York City, but about Italy. So yeah, either way, it's Italian. So here we go. We diving into the video. Original link in the description. Let's do it.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of Frankie's Cultural Observations. Today, we're going to be analysing American...
Gotta love his... It's crazy, I just posted something, or sent something to a friend about The Sopranos, but it's just his character, his personality is like... It's so hilarious, guys.
We're going to be analysing Americans who think they're Italian. Americans who think they're Italian have never been to Italy. They can't speak the mother tongue, but they're fluent in gabagool and put on an accent when they talk about pasta. These Sicilian squares use their Italian heritage as an excuse to shout at people in public for no reason. All they need to say is, "I get passionate, I'm Italian," clearing them of all responsibility as they continue to live in a pseudo-Italiano dream world just because they wear a chain necklace, refuse to shave their...
Oh man, listen, I grew up with Italian, so I'm sending this to so many people. Oh man, they're gonna be laughing. They're gonna be like, I grew up in, like, I went back and forth from New York City, but my hometown is in upstate New York, in a place called Endicott, New York, which is right outside of Binghamton. And in Endicott, on the north side, we have a place called Little Italy, which is where all the Italians reside. And even around the area, like the Italian Mafia, that they used to go up there a lot. And you got the Appalachian raids that happen, which is all in the same area. But man, I'm gonna be sending this video to a lot of people.
Chest hair, and their last name ends with a vowel. Soprano. If you ask an American who thinks they're Italian what part of Italy their family
Giovelli or
is from, they'll give you a hyper-specific answer, yet be unable to point it out on a map. And then they'll deflect by saying, "Hey, forget about it." It turns out all it takes to fake Italiano is to be the loudest person in the room, refer to red sauce as gravy, and let everyone know when they're giving you agita.
You're giving me agita. I'm on another little beat. You're gonna be in my coat with me. Move!
The male strain of Americans who think they're Italian are both terrifying and tender at the same time. They can seem aggressive at first. They have incredibly rigid gender roles and like people to think there's a possibility that they're in the mob. But if they think you're a person...
I want to laugh so hard because there was always this group of guys, like the Italian kids growing up in my hometown, like they would always eat at this specific pizza spot too on downtown, right on the main strip called Washington Ave. They were cool. A lot of them were cool. For the most part, like I said, I'm cool. I grew up with them, so I'm cool. I'm like real tight with a lot of them. But then you had certain ones that, like, see, the ones that was real cool, they'll tell you which ones was like prejudice on the low. And you had one who he was on a football team. He had blonde hair, blue eyes, and I guess he was like, not even I guess, they straight told me, I mean, he was like really like racist, but he would never show it. Like around, the so-called black kids, Spanish kids, he was so cool, but the Italian kids that was cool with us would tell us like, hey, this kid is like really does not like y'all, at all. And we was confused, like, really? But yeah, definitely the Italians, they loyal though. I give them that they loyal and they stick together.
Who has familia from the boot These made men will melt into slush puppies, inviting you over to Sunday dinner that their mama made and kiss you on the cheek every time they see you. Here's a demonstration. Can you kiss me?
Sure.
On the other side. Thanks. Americans who think they're Italian will let you know that they're Italian after 5 seconds of meeting them, but you could already tell because they own a mansion while working in waste management, pay for goods and services using jewellery, and always seem to go to the dry cleaners at questionable hours of the morning.
What?
Excuse me? Americans who think they're Italian are passionate about where they didn't come from. They think they're more Italian than the Italians because they're American, which means they have to be the best at everything, including Italy. So tell me about the MWife aesthetic.
That was a shot at Americans, but we deserve it. We deserve it.
So tell me about the MWife aesthetic.
So, it's a trend that, MobWife aesthetics coming back, wearing leopard, the big hair. I don't get it. It never left. We always wear leopard.
This reminded me of the show Mob Wives. Shout out to Drita. Much love to Drita. She showed me love on Twitter back in the day.
I don't see any leopard on you.
You did not look close enough. Look at my sneakers.
Oh.
And I want to bring out another point. You could be a mob wife with this pink fur coat.
Oh my God, your English is really good. How long have you been
Call them
learning
a
for?
Mob Wife.
Americans who think they're Italian have no idea that they're white and from Long Island. To them, that's a spicy meatball as a concept. When the fresh mozzarella hits the back of their throat, it becomes easy to forget the only boat the last 6 generations of their family have ever been on is the Staten Island ferry. Como se dice gabagool?
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 What's that?
Oh, you speak American.
Ooh. This video was great. Y'all can tell I grew up with them because just the spirits there is just that was it. Oh man, I could have kept watching that for a while, man. He could have made that a lot longer. I would have been tuned in. Growing up with a lot of my Italian friends, they always love to play that mob role. Like, I got family member. My ex-girlfriend, she was Italian, straight Italian. Last name Malorzo, but the thing is, she would tell me, things her mom would say, like, like prejudice. They didn't want her with, they didn't want her with the melanin, with the melanin, heavy melanated individual. And she would tell me her mom would, say something like, how would it look in public, so. But then you got, ones that are just amazing. Like one of my clients is Italian and she's amazing. Like it's to the point though where like you'll gain weight eating because they'll feed you so much. Italians, every culture got that big mama, and when I say big mama, meaning like that mother, that stronghold that, what she says goes, and that's especially Italians, and that's how my client is, and she just, man, I gotta send her this video. She's gonna be laughing. She's gonna be laughing so hard. But this video was hilarious. I mean, a lot of truth to it. He's roasting them. He roasts Americans pretty much, but in a clever way. And to me, it is a wake-up call. Like I stated in one of my videos, the Irish one, I said, my mother, she's from Igbo land. Like, she's from Nigeria. She came here when she was 10. My father, he's American. But even though I'm proud to have that in my blood, I don't, what's the word? Cosplay? I don't cosplay it. I don't, just dress up or act a certain way when I can't even fluently speak the language, or you get what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of people kind of be cosplaying and don't realize it. Like, yeah, something could be in your blood and it may be in your spirit, but if that's the case, then go back there and really learn the language, really be that. And I feel like when you truly love something, you become humble within that. you don't kind of like a lot of people like you said, it's a lot of people that play that mob figure. I grew up with them. They love to play that like yeah, mafia, da, da, da. Like okay, that's cute, but at the end of the day, like that's Italian culture isn't just mob. I'm sure there's so much beauty to it. Like my client told me how her grandma, who grew up on a countryside of Italy, and she said this was back in the 80s, because the client I'm talking about, she's in her 70s. She said that her grandma was a very intelligent woman, and she told her how one time she told her that she would see like little people, like they would see little like dwarfs, the fae, however you want to name them, in the countryside of Italy. So it's like it's so much like stories and so much beauty and so much just other things about Italy that I feel like it's like the mob in the Hollywood, all that image kind of overshadows so much of the culture. For sure, for sure. And it comes with like that bravado, that oh yeah, I'm Italian, yeah, you don't want, like, because it's like, come on, man, come on. Then you got then I ran into certain people who are like, who feel like they for example, they maybe feel, I guess, racist because they feel like, okay, the Moors came in and they R worded, and that's the reason they got their dark skin. But even if that's the case, that doesn't represent like so-called black people everywhere. Like that doesn't represent the ones that are in Mexico and all the way in South America, that they've been there so long they still can't trace their lineage to where they came from, and the ones that, you know what I'm saying, like you can't hate all people because of what a certain group may have done. So, and I'm just talking now because it's like I said, I grew up with them, so just so much is going through my head of so much different experiences and situations. That's how you know it's real, though. But with that being said, that was Americans Who Think They Are Italian. Another great video, original link in the description. Let me know what you think in the comments. Much love, y'all.